Yes, the Rothschilds. I am so excited to hear about this. I've been waiting for like a whole week. I've been waiting a whole day to watch this. Apparently, Gabe Newell, usually who he does nothing and he wins. Today he did something. And he won against the Rothschilds of all people. That is gotta be the fattest W I've ever seen. Also, thank you so much for the 351 subscribers. Wait, no, followers. That's amazing, guys. I appreciate the support. Anyways, this has gotta be one of the biggest gaming W's ever. For Gabe Newell, of all people, to go up against the Rothschilds and beat them in court, it's music to my ears, cinema to my eyes. But yeah, let's have a look-sees. Okay, it's still normal speed. Lovely.
Valve wins lawsuit against the Rothschilds and associated entities, with a jury agreeing they violated an Anti-Patent Troll Protection Act. Gabe Newell is our guy. He's standing up against the elites. He's going up against the Rothschilds and the New World Order. That's actually kind of amazing. The court also agreed that they had breached a global license agreement with Valve. Earlier this week, the District Court of the Western District of Washington favored Valve Corporation in its 2023 lawsuit against Lee Rothschild and his associated companies on all counts.
Not just one, boys. Every count. Found guilty as charged.
Including breach of contract and the violation of Washington's Patent Troll Prevention and Consumer Protection Acts. So we've even got the Rothschilds losing in court, and that's like their specialty. That's those people's specialty.
They're basically like Nintendo when it comes to winning the court cases. They're basically this unstoppable megacorp juggernaut when it comes to court cases and filing and suing for patent violations. So the fact that Gabe Newell just gave them the middle finger in court and won is absolutely just incredibly based, in my opinion. It is one of the sweetest wins gamers have tasted in the last couple of years. I don't know if you guys know what patent trolls is, but basically people file for a bunch of patents that they don't use, and then they just sue you when you use it to get money out of you. They basically stifle creativity and competition by hoarding all the patents, so that the moment a new guy enters the arena, they just squash him with a whole bunch of lawsuits, or they make them pay for the license to use it. Which is just one of the most oy vey things I've ever seen when it comes to copyright laws and the such, but still, massive W for Gabe. Massive W.
Right, and we won. This is a victory for all of us. Gabe Newell is in fact our guy. Rothschild is an inventor with a huge array of patents to his name.
He's giving the smile. He knows. He knows.
Granted and pended, covering an extremely broad range of fields. He also owns or leads a host of companies that manage the business side of patents. In this particular legal case, Valve alleged that Rothschild himself, Rothschild Broadcast Distribution Systems LLC, Display Technologies LLC, Patent Asset Management LLC, Mailer Legal LLC, and Samuel Mailer were guilty of bad faith assertions of patent infringement, amongst other things. The patent in question is US 8856221B2, a system and method of storing broadcast content in a cloud-based computing environment. Rothschild Broadcast Distribution Systems owns the rights to that patent, and in 2016, Valve obtained a perpetual, irrevocable, royalty-free, fully paid-up worldwide license for it, and others in Rothschild's portfolio. However, in 2022, Display Technologies sued Valve for infringement of one patent covered in that agreement, and then in 2023, Valve received another claim from Rothschild's lawyers, this time concerning US 8856221B2. Obviously, Valve's legal team decided enough was enough and filed a lawsuit in return.
Literally, the Empire Strikes Back, boys. They got enough. They'd had enough. To the point where Valve filed a lawsuit in return. They returned fire. This is like one bullet being fired at a seemingly endless army, and just hitting the general right between the eyes and the forehead in a glorious kill cam worthy headshot. And I love to see it. I am sick and tired of these Omega big corporations completely screwing over a competition and the consumer simultaneously by suing for patent infringement and hoarding all these patents that they never end up using. I am sick and tired of it, and I'm finally glad to see someone standing up for it. Gabe Newell is basically the hero of the common man when it comes to this. Absolute big W's to this guy.
Is this kind of like this kind of reminds me of those like copyright scams that they do on YouTube, where some guy will make a bunch of like music and then he'll upload it and then he'll say to everyone, "Oh, guys, don't worry, this is like totally copyright free. This is
Trust me,
completely
bro.
copyright free. You can totally use this music as much as you want." And then everybody will be like, "All right, cool," and then start using the music. But what they've done is they've uploaded it on another channel
Uh-oh.
that earlier, saying that none of it's copyright. Now this is all copyrighted stuff. You totally can't use this music. And then when shit tons of YouTube channels everywhere will use that music, they'll then delete the channel that says, "Hey, this is all copyright free and you can totally use it," and then they'll use that previous channel to they'll leave it up for a year until enough YouTubers have used the songs, and then they'll just
Rothschilds,
copyright claim
true.
every single fucking video to try and because a lot of people YouTubers go, "Oh, is this like a 3-year-old video and it's been copyright claimed? Ah, fuck it, it's not worth it. That'll be making barely any money anyway. It's got all of its views." But what happens is if that guy on that account does that to enough of those videos enough times, he can just sit there and earn shit tons of money. Right, that's a copyright scam that's been going on
Oy
for like
vey.
quite some time. People try and use it, so I'm just saying, whenever you're using copyright-free music on YouTube, just be very, very careful because we
Just be like me, use absolutely no music. The only music to chat's ears is my yapping for 24/7. Or just, when you're streaming, just route the audio correctly so that it goes to the stream but not to the VOD. Simple and safe, easy peasy.
have had that happen to us.
Hey, Quasar the hero, welcome on in, man. Let me give you a shout out. Hold on. Quasar the hero. No, I messed it up. He got caught looking. Wait, I just realized I'm levitating. There we go. You know what? I did it wrong again. Hold on. Third time's the charm. Yes, it worked. It worked. Wunderbar, wunderbar.
Twice. The thing is, though, we've got lawyers. We've got lawyers here, and basically that makes them shit the bed and withdraw their claim pretty fucking quickly. What makes this particular case of note is that Valve didn't just go after one company, but several of Rothschild's companies, plus the inventor himself, as well as his lawyer. After several years of slow progress, the lawsuit has now concluded with the jury giving the nod to Valve over every dispute and claim. For example, the court deemed that Rothschild and TD had breached the 2016 license agreement in 2022, and that Rothschild and RBDS did not have a just excuse for the absolute repudiation of their obligations of that agreement, and the 2023 letter to Valve. Perhaps most importantly of all, though, is that the court declared that Lee Rothschild and his associated entities listed in the lawsuit had all violated the Washington Patent Troll Prevention and Consumer Protection Act.
Oh, nice. First of all, incredibly based. It's not just like a company or subsidiary of his companies is getting, deemed by the court to be violated of this anti-patent troll law. It's the Rothschild himself that is getting screwed, which is an absolutely fat W, if I do say so myself. Guys would use companies to lobby and troll and then never have any sort of personal accountability. To see the guy himself get screwed over, oh, music to my ears. You love to see it. Gabe does nothing and wins, and the first time he actually did something, he won against the Rothschilds. Absolutely amazing.
By claiming that Rothschild's entities are effectively his alter egos in its lawsuit, Valve is arguably using a tactic to make Rothschild himself personally liable rather than any associated company that he founded, owns, or leads. This move could be key for other businesses hoping to combat the problem of patent trolls, because a lot of the patent stuff is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, to be fair, Accursed, I don't know anything about the Rothschilds except that it's usually comes with negative associations. Okay, I haven't dove deep into the nuances and the lore of the Rothschilds. Maybe there's a good video on it. I'll watch it.
It's like, who was it? Was it? I think it might have been Apple. I think it might have been Apple. I can't remember the name of the company, but they tried to patent square rectangular phones with rounded corners.
I remember talking with my colleague literally yesterday when we were discussing apples after I sold an apple, or a GOI screen as I've come to call them, to one of the customers. And we were basically discussing after we sold it just how trash Apple is. And that patent nonsense actually came up. They're associated with the Rockefellers. Ooh, yes, I remember also the Rockefellers. Also bad news.
So basically, a rounded rectangle. They tried to patent that. Right? Was it Samsung or was it Apple? I can't remember. It was one of the big companies tried to patent that.
I'm
There are
pretty sure it
just
was
there's
Apple.
some ridiculous stuff out there that can get patented, and you might design yourself a little product.
Wait, it was bending? Like, oh, part of me wants to say, just stop being fat, but I'm just going to assume it was just really bad quality of the phones. What? Isn't the thing
And you're like,
supposed to
oh,
be
cool.
made out of basically metal? Happen to girls all the time due to the booty. I just find that so funny. Ah, yes, the cheek bent iPhone.
I've built this thing all completely by myself, and then you get 6 different companies going, actually, we own the patent for breathing. So you can't do that. Like, fucking, yeah. There's a bunch of that shit out there of people that they're essentially they're trying to scam money. It's called patent trolling. It's people trying to scam and extort money out of you. That's all it is.
He's right.
Without going into a lengthy discussion about that particular topic, patent trolls are considered to be individuals or companies that own the rights to patents, but never use them for any product or service. Instead, they make money through litigation, suing other companies with claims of patent infringement,
Interesting,
sometimes through
Quasar,
the use of
interesting.
shell companies rather than themselves, which is absolutely like a
This is exactly what I mentioned previously. I hate copyright, I hate patent trolls. The whole system is just designed to scam people out of their money instead of allowing for growth, competition, and just good services and goods being delivered to the end consumer. Which is why I champion the arrival of Gabe Newell in his smashing victory against the Rothschilds. I hope to see more in the future.
just said there. Yeah, that's what they do. They're scammers. A lot of like the stuff in the patent office is just used for scamming. Valve's success against Lee Rothschild could well result in a host of other cases being filed in Washington because of that state's Patent Troll Prevention Act. Whatever does happen, though, you can be sure that many tech companies will be just as pleased as Valve by the result of this lawsuit. Because, yeah, a lot of companies have like a really, really hard time because certain patents are owned. Like, for example, do you know that algorithms that do automated moderation, Google owns the patents?
I did not know that. Like, it makes sense. Someone would probably own it. And even if no one did, someone would try and have it patented, right? Interesting to know it's Google. But I'm going to assume that a lot of platforms not owned by Google use this. I wonder how much Google charges them to use it.
For a lot of them, do you know that? See those systems that do like scan things for no words and everything? Google owns the patent for it. Which basically means if you're a little company and you want to basically go, I want some software to scan for rude no words because I've got the British government, I've got the fucking FDA, and everybody breathing down my fucking neck and everything. I need this patent, and Google will go, yeah, that's cool. You can totally use our system. $10 million, please.
Oy vey. Large corpos can just delay cases and bleed people out and let cases. Yeah, it is true. Because they've accumulated just so much wealth, they can afford to play the long game. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, attrition. They play the attrition game because they can afford to survive a lot longer because they basically have infinite money for lawyers and to delay the cases over and over until the little guy just runs out of money and then they just crush them afterwards. Yeah, company lawyers as well is another factor.
Like, yeah, it's horrendous. It's really, really bad. And it's a bit of a fucking nightmare for people out there that want to do a product. And there might be something that you have built from the ground up, but oh no, unfortunately, oh, did you make the screen green? Oh, some guy actually owns the patent for green screens, and in that particular shade, he's never done anything with it for 30 fucking years, but you now owe him £6 million. Right, that's the problem. Basically, these people just fuck up innovation. They fuck up companies. They fuck up
Yep.
the little guy. And as you know, I don't like regulations or rules that fuck up little companies trying to start. I like the economy to be strong and booming. And when you've got idiots pulling this shit, it stops the economy from growing. However, Gabe Newell just beat a Rothschild in court.
Based, by the way. Absolute
That's
W.
I don't know why this
It
isn't
brings a
mainstream
smile to
news.
my
I don't
face.
know why this isn't on every single television set all over the world. Right? Gabe fucking Newell beat the Rothschilds. But anyway, I hope Gabe. Listen, I hope
The
Gabe
pulses
needs
are
to
so
just
good.
tweet out that he's absolutely not suicidal, and I look forward to the
But
Gabe
yeah, he did not die by suicide to the gunshot to the back of the head.
Newell
Saying this now.
allegations that are definitely going to come out in the next 6 months.
That was absolutely great. Hold on, let me give this guy a like. I love Count Dankula. I'm so glad that my chat showed me about this guy. Showed me this guy. He is absolutely amazing. I just love the stuff he covers. His personality is just so amazing. Absolutely goated though. 100%. Anyways, what's the next one I wanted to watch?